The Genshin Impact and HoYoverse boycotters are not taking the news well that their boycott did nothing throughout the month of July, with HoYoverse's revenue increasing by almost 10% across their three major titles, Zenless Zone Zero, which just released, Honkai Star Rail, and Genshin Impact. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. And just do a brief recap here. According to Gotcha Revenue, HoYoverse's newly released game Zenless Zone Zero raked in a total of $99.8 million in revenue for the month of July, almost 100 million there. It also brought in 40.3 million from Honkai Star Rail and another 37.3 million from Genshin Impact. Between the three games, HoYoverse grossed 177.4 million just in the month of July. Again, that is a single month. They are raking in the dough over there, giving players what they like and want. In comparison, HoYoverse grossed a total of 163 million between Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact in June. Thus, the company saw its revenues increase 8.8% between June and July. If you go back to May, it looks even better. HoYoverse grossed 144 million between Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. July's grosses are 23% higher than May. So obviously trending upwards throughout the summer months here. So the boycotters, we're not taking this very well. This is like the lead boycotter here. This guy, Avin of Strats, he posted this on X. Not happy at all. Very upset. We're just getting started. The boycott isn't going anywhere until we achieve our goals. We will keep escalating. That's a very threatening terminology there. Escalating until HoYoverse stop whitewashing and provide authentic representation in their games. One has to wonder what kind of escalation they are talking about. He doesn't actually share what that will be. We have seen that they have a petition and they are running hashtags and they are telling people to keep playing the game. It's absolutely hilarious. If you actually go to this like boycott HYV account on X, they have these whole like instructions, and it's literally like doesn't tell people to stop playing the game. I mean, you literally can't make it up. They're supposed to be boycotting HoYoverse games, but their instructions are implicitly telling people they can still play the games. I mean, you really can't just make this stuff up. But clearly, he's not happy. Another person here, Harbinger Girls, posted this. Remember to keep boycotting and talking about the petition. Hashtag representation matters. Hashtag boycott HYV, HoYoverse. Then the user added, don't forget to sign the petition if you haven't yet. So clearly, they aren't taking it very well. And if you're wondering why these people are boycotting, I guess looking at those hashtags, you kind of tell they're all about their representation, ideology, etc. And they are upset that allegedly HoYoverse is whitewashing their characters. I don't think that is the case at all. I think these people are just really mad that their identity politics is not being inserted into the game, and they do not have power over the developer of HoYoverse. But they did provide some more information about why they are boycotting in this petition, which now has over 104,000 signatures on change.org. Clearly 104,000 people that are not purchasing or are purchasing, so they're not actually boycotting HoYoverse games because their revenue went up. So they're having absolutely no effect on HoYoverse whatsoever. HoYoverse's bottom line, seeing their revenue increase almost 10% in the month of July compared to June. But this is what their petition says. We call on MiHoYo, which is what the developer's name was before they rebranded to HoYoverse, to stop cultural appropriation and whitewashing their games and to commit to respectful and accurate representation of all cultures. MiHoYo, a leading game development company, has repeatedly taken inspiration from indigenous cultures without proper representation and respect. In particular, the many characters from Sumeru and Natlan in Genshin Impact and from Pinakoni in Honkai Star Rail are all clearly white or only lightly tanned at best, with the exception of some enemy NPCs, which has sparked concerns of racism among players and indigenous communities. So I'll just point out in Pinoconi, there's like literally characters that are like gold. Their entire skin is like gold. I think there's some kind of like they're like robots or something like that. I didn't really get it, but they're like just gold. They have like no facial features or anything like that. You just like the face sculpt. Next, it declares cultural appropriation and whitewashing perpetuate harmful stereotypes and diminish the rich cultural heritage of indigenous communities. These practices not only misrepresent cultures, but also contribute to ongoing marginalization and just, again, pointing out those NPCs, those characters in Pinoconi are like literally straight gold. I have no idea who those are supposed to be, quote unquote, representing the real world. It's almost like it is a fictional game set in a fictional world. You can't make this stuff up. They then issued a list of demands. Sounds very similar to what Kim Belair had to say during her 2019 Game Developers Conference, where she threatened to terrorize developers with social media mobs if she did not get her way. And her way is inserting woke ideology. And this is exactly what this petition is demanding here. MiHoYo to engage with indigenous cultural consultants, aka organizations like Sweet Baby Inc., which are they are the definition of the grift. Revise existing content to ensure accurate representation. Commit to creating diverse and inclusive characters. I mean, this is literally the mission statement of Sweet Baby Inc. here. Absolutely wild. So on top of this petition, we've seen this X account, HYV Boycott, saying this. I think it's safe to say that we all have had enough of the erasure of our cultures and identities. No clue how these video games are erasing culture and identities. They absolutely aren't. They're creating their own fictional worlds. These people are absolutely delusional. Nevertheless, they are still trying to push this stuff. These people need help. They really need a lot of help because they're so delusional that they're trying to apply their woke ideology that they have clearly been indoctrinated onto this video game. It's truly sad. It's truly sad. These people are pitiable and almost like they're abuse victims. They've literally been abused by these woke cultist peddlers, and they're now trying to actually apply this stuff into video games. I truly feel sorry for these people because they are victims, but they need help. They need absolute help. They're not the victims that they think they are. They're victims of the woke ideology, and they need help to recover from that. We need to have like a 12-step program for people who have been infected with the woke mind virus. And maybe someone should start that. But they go on and say, today I introduce you all to Boycott HoYoverse. We will be an account sharing how you can boycott, spread the word. Anything helps. And then they're also going here to kind of explain why they're boycotting, saying there has been a distinct lack of darker skin tones represented in the game. Characters from these cultures are actively being heavily referenced, but are being whitewashed. This is especially noticeable and ever present in not only Sumeru and Natlan, but also in other nations. I doubt that they would say the same about Wakanda. These practices not only misrepresent said cultures, but also contribute to the ongoing marginalization and disrespect that is perpetuating colorism further in the media, causing even more harm than good to communities and groups of individuals who are a part of them. So that's why these people are boycotting. It's clearly all about the woke ideology and trying to push it into HoYoverse. Fortunately, it looks like HoYoverse has nothing to do with this stuff. We have this X user who has now deleted his account. Haunted Faye posted this on July 12th. A message he received from MiHoYo or HoYoverse informing him that the game is fictional when he complained about these complaints that these boycotters have. So the user posted this: Genshin is not real life. Genshin Impact. What kind of response is this when a player submits feedback about racism and colorism? Embarrassing, unprofessional behavior from a company of grown-ups and supposed mature, well-read developers. And then use the hashtag why are they white HoYo, which a bunch of these boycotters are using. And so you can actually read the email here on what HoYoverse sent to them. It says, Please be kindly reminded that Genshin Impact is a work of fiction and is not related to actual people, events, groups, or organizations. We do really hope for your understanding. And this guy's like raging on X. I mean, these people are just absolutely unhinged, but they're victims. They are victims. I do mean that, but it's hard not to laugh at just how truly unhinged this stuff is. at this point. And just how like they're literally having to be told like children that it is fictional, that the game is fictional, like because these people can't separate reality from fiction. I mean, again, like I said, truly abuse victims of the woke mind virus, of woke cultists. We got another one here too. This one is from ex-user Cavinator. This person wrote, "This is the response I got from HoYoverse. I do think they're being careful with their words now because of the backlash. Don't let HoYoverse get away with it, guys. Hashtag boycott. Why are they white Hoyo?" And so the message from HoYoverse says this: "Thank you for contacting us. We really appreciate your feedback. To update you, we have recorded your opinions and forwarded them to the appropriate team. If you have any other suggestions about our game, you can also feel free to share them by opening Paimon menu and clicking feedback suggestion box. Wish you a joyful journey." So this person here is claiming that they're somehow won some kind of victory by receiving a canned corporate response saying we received your complaint and forwarded it to the appropriate team, where it will be immediately thrown in the trash because you can't separate fiction from reality, and then instructs them on how to properly provide feedback in the future. I mean, you really can't make this stuff up, but these people say they're going to continue. They say they're going to escalate. We'll see what actually happens here. I'm having fun covering this story because it's just so utterly ridiculous with what these people are trying to do. And it does show that you can be highly successful by opposing this stuff, not caving to it. And they are making boatloads of money doing so. What do we say here? I think almost 200 million, 177.4 million just in the month of July. Just in the month of July, just 1 month. And they've got another game already in the works as well. They are definitely taking over the market share that Western developers have ceded to them because of their embrace of woke ideology. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, but to always speak the truth.